Recently, there has been a lot of chaos in the fandom, and because of this, many have unwittingly strayed from the main plot of Skibidi Toilet. It is not surprising that against the backdrop of everything that is happening, some characters, whose return almost every viewer is waiting for, have begun to be gradually forgotten. That's why today I decided to remind you about them. All the characters on this list are very likely to reappear as early as 2026. To make sure you don't miss anything and fully immerse yourself in the topic, I recommend watching the video from beginning to end. And of course, please support me with a like and a subscription to the channel, because it really matters to me. Opening our top is Plunger Man, a small but truly legendary character. He actively participated in all the key battles, especially starting with episode 50, where he fully demonstrated his heroism. For many, he became a true hero. For example, after his death in episode 70, the camerawoman began to act much more aggressively and adopted Plunger Man's principles, not to fear stronger enemies and to go all the way. In his honor, a monument was recently erected at the Cameraman's base. Surprisingly, the only thing we know for sure is that Plunger Man was killed by a secret agent for reasons that have not yet been revealed. Over time, many began to forget him and stopped believing that he would ever reappear in the series. However, in season 25, we saw his body being brought to the operating table. The goal was to hack into his database to finally learn the whole truth. Given this moment, it becomes clear that Plunger Man will appear in the plot again, perhaps as the secret agent's assistant or even as a full-fledged fighter. The next forgotten character on our list is Astro Detainer. We last saw him in episode 72, where he was in a fierce battle with G-Man and suffered extremely serious injuries. As we know, Astro Detainer is the direct assistant to the UFO toilet, which automatically makes him one of the key figures in the Astro Toilet hierarchy. Characters like this don't just disappear, and his prolonged absence only fuels interest in his possible return. It is logical to assume that all this time he was not just being repaired, but thoroughly modernized. His signature claw technology is extremely rare, interesting, and incredibly useful in combat, especially against strong and maneuverable opponents. The improvements could make him many times more dangerous than before. It is highly likely that Astro Detainer will return to catch up with G-Man, and not just for revenge, but on principle, to destroy his former commander, whom he himself called a traitor. Another forgotten character is the little Skibidi Toilets. They were particularly prominent in episode 4, where they first attracted attention. At first glance, they may seem completely useless, but it cannot be ruled out that with the help of their song, they were also able to infect people with the virus, secretly, thanks to their small size. It is quite possible that they were originally intended to infect smaller creatures, such as cats, which we have seen repeatedly in the series. Nevertheless, in my opinion, despite their unusualness, these characters remain of little use. In the current episodes, they would not be able to provide any real help. In the conditions of constant explosions and large-scale battles, they would simply fly apart one after another without having time to influence the course of events. Also, many viewers have already forgotten one of the true legends of the series, a character who appeared in the 6th episode, but who is surprisingly little talked about. I am talking about Skibidi DJ. After his first appearance, he disappeared for 64 episodes and returned only in the 70th, already in the form of a strider. However, his comeback was short-lived. He was taken out of action almost immediately. Skibidi DJ received his next major upgrade only in the 77th episode, where he appeared in a new form. The most curious thing is that the entire G-Squad, except for the hybrid with a saw, who was at another location, appeared in episode 79, but we never saw Skibidi DJ himself among them. This seems rather strange and raises questions. Perhaps he is currently undergoing additional upgrades, because if we recall his condition in episode 77, he was not particularly strong, despite the decent damage his speakers inflicted. Or maybe it's all much simpler and more ironic. He just found the perfect playlist for himself. gave up on the chaos around him, and decided to relax a little while enjoying the music. But seriously, such an ancient and iconic character should not be left without screen time for long. Given how rapidly new characters appear in the series, viewers will not be able to follow him indefinitely without reminders, which means that Skibidi DJ's return is only a matter of time. Personally, I would like to see him interact with the Speakerman and how they turn the music up to the max together, amplifying the sound to the limit and literally charging themselves and their team with energy. Such a union would not only look impressive, but also logical. Music could become a source of fighting spirit, synchronization, and additional strength in battle for them. Another, albeit less forgotten character is the Titan Speakerman. This Titan is considered the weakest and most vulnerable of all the Titans, which is why viewers often place him a step below the rest, underestimating his potential. Nevertheless, after the appearance of the Speakerman Armada, many took Executor Speakerman for Titan Speakerman, but it soon became clear that these were completely different characters. After episode 74, we were no longer shown Titan Speakerman in full height, and that for a moment is more than a year and a half in real time. People began to actively remember him after the words of the TV man at his base, where he stated that the armada of Speakermen would become almost the most powerful force in the entire series. However, it remains unclear what exactly the improved Titan Speakerman will be like, and what role he will play in the future plot, what new powers and abilities he will gain. If the new episode with his full appearance takes too long to come out, the audience's anticipation will inevitably fade, and he will be forgotten again, despite all his potential. For now, viewers continue to hope for his return and wait for the moment when he will once again show himself in all his power. And now, Titan Cameraman, whose appearance I think everyone is waiting for. Like Titan Speakerman, we last saw him in episode 74, and the latest information about him appeared in episode 76, where it became known that the squad pursuing the Titan had disappeared. Many viewers remember his disappearance, but others have already come to terms with the loss and begun to choose new favorite Titans. From a plot perspective, the appearance of such an important character requires preliminary hype among viewers. Since this technique has not been used yet, his return will most likely take longer than the appearance of the other characters on the list. Nevertheless, when he reappears on screen, it will be one of the most spectacular comebacks in the series, even more impressive than his heroic and epic appearance in episode 50. Considering that Titan Cameraman has survived many injuries and fierce battles, he is clearly using every possible means to escape captivity as carefully as possible. His appearance may be protracted, but it will be worth it, and will surely become an event that viewers will remember for a long time. Do you remember the squad from episode 75? The key characters from that episode are the smoking cameraman, the Skibidi soldier with saws, and the Skibidi hybrid woman. We saw some of them in the full 77th episode when the Skibidi woman and the Skibidi soldier helped carry containers with captured agents. Although their appearance was a long time ago, it is worth noting that they were the first or among the first to contribute to the reconciliation between the Skibidi Toilets and the Alliance. The Skibidi hybrid woman stands out from this squad. According to her sister, the Skibidi woman worked in the elite Alpha Hills unit. Although her sister tried to find her, her efforts were unsuccessful, and even now, she still does not know whether her sister is alive. Soon, this storyline may also be revealed to us, perhaps adding a touch of drama or something of that nature. Since she deals with important issues, we will probably see her appear much more often in the future than we do now. Especially since you saw her face in the reworked 25th season, it will be extremely difficult to forget it because of her unusual and new appearance. I would also like to see Titan TV Man again, and I'm not talking about the one we now see under the name Watchman of Doom, who destroys everything in his path and spares no one, but the real Titan TV Man as we knew him before. Many have probably already written him off as a good character, and now many viewers associate him with the main villain of the entire series. But if you look closer, his past actions and character paint a completely different picture. He was one of the Alliance's most loyal defenders. In recent episodes, Titan has actively demonstrated his full power, although it was the Alliance, or more precisely, the Cameraman's base, that was put to the test. It is also impossible to forget the moment when Watchmen of Doom appeared in the dimension of the TV men and began to destroy everything in sight. Jeffrey, the guardian of this place, was clearly unhappy that Watchmen of Doom had become too cocky and started acting like he was in charge. With one blow, Jeffrey managed to calm down the enraged Watchmen of Doom, showing that even the strongest can be vulnerable to the true order of things. It remains unclear what happened to him next, and how the Alliance will manage to free Titan TV Man from the control of the Astro Toilets. The last time we saw him in a normal state was in episode 77, when, seeing that the Astro Toilets were cornering the Alliance, he entered the battlefield without hesitation, and took the full brunt of the attack to give the others a chance to escape. At that moment, he also received some technology from the Astro Toilets, which later triggered a whole chain of unpleasant and dangerous events. I really want to see at least that same dumb Titan TV man again, the one who sometimes did rash things, made the wrong decisions, but still remained on the side of the Alliance. After all, he remains the strongest and most technologically advanced Titan, and even if he cannot be saved, he will always occupy a special place in the series for his heroic deeds, for the loyalty and courage he showed in protecting his comrades and those who needed his strength. It's time to talk about a character we never even saw, but whom almost everyone was expecting by episode 77, and now few remember. We're talking about Astro Duke. He was first mentioned in a conversation between G-Man and Astro Juggernaut when Juggernaut said that Duke would not forgive betrayal and would soon arrive on Earth. However, more than a year has passed in real time since then. Several episodes have aired, and there are no more rumors or hints of his appearance. Instead, there are several theories. For example, the Duke may be the husband of the Astro Duchess, and some have even claimed that he is her daughter. Many have suggested that the Duke is a UFO toilet, but this has proven to be incorrect. It is too early to say what he will look like and what he is, but there is a feeling that his appearance will be very unexpected and spectacular. Secret Agent, who is also Dafuk Boom. In the series, Secret Agent operates from the shadows. For some reason, he cannot openly pursue his goals, so he acts through others, gives hints to agents, and tries to participate in battles and missions in any way he can. He looks for different ways to complete his tasks, which was particularly evident in episode 70, where he skillfully distracted Skibidi the scientist and passed the remote control to the Cameraman with hacking capabilities. Due to his secretiveness, viewers often forget about him. In real life, Dafuk Boom, or Alexei, also cannot openly tell the whole truth about the current situation. But through mutual acquaintances, he tries to carefully share with us what he can. Despite all the problems, from strikes to the almost complete confiscation of the channel and content, he will never give up and will fight for justice to the end. To make sure as many people as possible see this, there is a special hashtag, #BringBoomBack, which can be seen under almost every video related to Skibidi Toilets. Let's hope that in 2026 everything will work out, and most of the important and long-awaited characters will soon appear on the screens. Well, as always, Super Cameraman, see you very soon, good luck to everyone, and see you again.